The idea for today's video goes back to a video I made recently about how everything is right when you have your purpose in place. And and I wanted to especially talk about the friend aspect, how you should go about your friendships and stuff and things of that matter. When it comes to things that matter, you should try to make friends who you think have similar interests to you, right? Because when you can look at the person and you can see that, oh yeah, he probably works out, then you should probably go talk to him, right? Because you may not know, but just seeing how someone looks like is a very good indicator. So you see, oh yeah, they look like they work out. So we walk up to them. Turns out, yeah, they don't really play video games. So that's another plus. And then you can just go further and further, right? Of course, you're not going to have the most friends because most people aren't into things like working out, discipline, dopamine detox. Most people aren't into this stuff. So you're not going to have lots and lots of friends, but you will have much better friends because why would you be friends with someone who you don't even get along with? You get what I'm saying? So if you like, even if that person has similar interests to you, but you just don't get along, you just don't like the person, then don't be friends with them, you know? Because then it won't make sense. Like, oh yeah, you are both for self-improvement, but you don't really like the way he acts, and and so there is really no point in continuing that relationship. And you should, and it depends on how strict you want to be about this. Like, if you want to be real strict, then go ahead. Honestly, just go ahead. Like me, I'm friends with people who work out, who exercise. I'm friends with people who exercise. I'm not going to be friends with a person who is lazy or who's lazy because I do have one friend who doesn't exercise, but like she is better at deep working than I do. It's just that her deep work is school and my deep work is exercising. So that's really the difference. I'm still friends with her because she can teach me a lot about mindfulness and I can teach her a lot about exercise. So there's a mutual exchange of value and also we just resonate with each other. Like the characters are matching. So yeah, uh, when you have a toxic person in your life, you shouldn't be friends with them, of course. Duh. But like if you're already friends, just cut them out. Honestly, just cut them out. Just like start semi-ghosting them. Honestly, like what I do is that I was friends with a person, and like and I as the relationship uh, advanced, I realized that yeah, they're a bit of a dickhead, right? And it's like I realized like, dude, the guy's a neo-Nazi, actually. So I decided that yeah, I don't want to be friends with a guy like that. So I started saying hi to him in a quieter voice. I started talking to him less. When he would try to strike up a conversation, I wouldn't really be as enthusiastic. Of course, it wouldn't be like obvious, but it was subtle enough towards where he could subconsciously pick it up. You get what I'm saying? You need some. You need to be subtle about it. You know, that's what I did with one friend. And earlier, like way earlier, I had another friend like that. This was about when I started self improvement. And the guy played video games all day. He smoked, he drank, he didn't sleep enough. I I was the opposite of all those. And so I decided that I didn't want to be friends with him. And when I realized that we would be going to different classes in different schools, because this was the period of transitioning between high school and primary school, and so I just cut him off, and I didn't really talk to him. He tries to strike up small talk, but I don't really like him either. So, and when It also depends on how confident and how tall and how strong you are. Because I'm like I'm confident, I know how to fight, and I'm 6 feet tall. So I can I can afford to be a bit mean to people who I don't like, you know? I can afford to be a little bit. Of course, I'm not a dickhead, but if someone is pissing me off, I will not be afraid to criticize them blatantly in public, in front of my and his friends. I will not really be hesitant about it because I can afford to be a bit mean. I can afford to be a bit critical of someone. If you're a short guy and you don't know how to fight and you're not confident and you're short and you're not and you don't look good, then maybe I wouldn't advise that because like you can be confident, but confidence is going to get you like it's going to get you to a point where you come across a person who will hear what you are saying, look at you and laugh at you because there is too much of a discrepancy between what you're saying and what you look like. So I wouldn't advise being too critical, too pushy, too like don't have this tinge of rudeness to you. Of course, you should be confident. You should be confident, but you shouldn't be arrogant about it. So it's like when a guy walks up to me and he just strikes the conversation like, "Oh yeah, how's life?" Then I would like, "Yeah, fine." Like I can afford to be this distant guy without being afraid of the situation escalating because of the way I look like and act like on a daily basis. And you may not be all that, so just watch out for. And that's really my advice: is that if you want to really, when you're making friends, then just based on character and interests. And if you're cutting someone off, then do it subtly. If if you are going to be separated in some type of permanent way, like switching schools, moving schools, or moving towns, then go ahead. And if you're big, if you're physically imposing, and if you're confident, then you can afford to be a bit less subtle. It gives you a bit of a cushion. But even then, I wouldn't advise being like too hard to be like, oh yeah, fuck you. Don't be like that. Of course, you can like walk up to them if they could understand. But then again, I wouldn't advise this because you could just walk up to them and say, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be friends anymore." But most people will not just accept it. They will be mad at you. They will be pissed off at you, and the relationship will suffer because they will probably not end the relationship. They will not want to. They will stick to you. And so another piece of advice is to be jacked, get confident. Confidence is built up through other stuff. So it's like you can't become confident by pursuing confidence. You can become confident. You can actually become confident by exercising, by meditating, by journaling, by proving to yourself that you are more than you think you are. That's how you build confidence. And yeah, uh, that was my advice. Sleep well, do better, and see ya.